Welcome to Cloudcast, where you get an inside look at St. Cloud, Florida's local government. Whether you live, work, or play here, we're bringing you the information you need to better understand your city. Cloudcast is hosted by our communications team, including Mariama Batchelder, Andrew Sullivan, Deborah Carson, and Jay B. Miller. Thanks for listening in to Cloudcast.
So hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Cloudcast, the City of St. Cloud's own dedicated podcast. And we have with us in the studio today Douglas Goerke, the police chief for the City of St. Cloud. So welcome, Chief.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
And part of what we're going to discuss today is a new initiative. It's been underway for a little while now. And this week we go live with the citations for the program. Can you tell us a little bit about just a recap of our school zone speed safety camera program?
Yeah, so we actually have this started. It's been coming up on a month now, so May 7th will be the live date that we would have 30 days of violations. So when we talk about violations, what does that mean? We have laser cameras that are set up in our school zones to monitor speeds. And where did this come from? Again, just to remind everybody, we did a 3-day study. It was back, I believe, in last year that we actually got some very, very concerning speed numbers. Some of them were 20 to 30 miles per hour over the posted speed limit inside the school zones. And that's really what sparked this. But now that we're where we are today, the cameras are set up. And what they do is they measure your speed through laser or LiDAR, and they use camera technology to record your vehicle driving. So it's going to create a video. It's also going to take a picture of your license plate specifically and the speeds. So what that does now is we're in the warning phase currently, but obviously May 7th, we're going to be going live with the real citations. But right now you're going to get something in the mail that actually notifies you that you were basically caught speeding in a school zone. Yep. And it's anything 11 miles an hour and over. So if the posted speed limit is flashing during the beacon times at 15 miles an hour and you're doing 26 miles an hour, you're going to be getting a citation in the mail. And again, it's 11 miles an hour and over. When the beacons are off, it recalculates back up to the normal speed. So if the speed limit in the school zone is 30 miles an hour, if you're doing 41 miles an hour in that school zone during the hours when school is open, you're going to be getting a citation as well. So the cameras are going to be on and running and recording speeds while school is open, starting at that beacon time when those lights are flashing, all the way through the last beacon time when it actually turns off in the afternoon. But
it's the camera system that's doing the adapting, right? The cameras are following the existing posted speed limits, and they're not changing that whatsoever, right?
No, that's correct. So the cameras are already programmed. They know the posted speed limits in those areas. So during the beacon times, the cameras will be recording and monitoring the traffic during the beacon times when it's at 15 miles an hour, and when it recalculates back up after the beacons are turned off, the flashing lights are turned off, the cameras will automatically recalculate back up to the regular speed.
And the purpose for this is essentially for student safety, staff safety, for the crossing guards. And that was the impetus behind this, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, we have we've seen it before. I have crossing guards that are out there all the time, and I get a lot of complaints about the drivers, about the way people are driving, speeding in the school zones, not yielding to pedestrians in crosswalks. And what this does is it's very, very important. This is a safety program that we put in place to ensure that our pedestrians, our walkers, our faculty and our staff, and actually our crossing guards remain safe. It's so important. It's so imperative that we watch our speeds. We all know that sometimes children will dart out into the street, and it's really, really important that we're actually monitoring and really following the speed zones, not just in our schools, but it should be anywhere in our city, anywhere in our region. Right. Every time you exceed the speed limit, there's a good possibility that something bad could happen.
And I think that's really the message. We talk a lot about what the speeds are, but follow the posted speed limits, don't exceed that, and that doesn't really have anything to do with the camera system. That's just safety.
And I appreciate that because I actually did come up in some of the posts. I do monitor social media, and at some of the posts people were questioning. I think they were getting a little confused about the speeds and what it is. But when those beacons are flashing, please pay attention to that flashing speed limit sign. Once those beacons are done and the lights are no longer flashing, it does just recalculate back up to the regular speed zone in that school area. And again, it monitors it during school hours. And why? I got asked that also. Why is it during school hours? Well, children still walk to school after the beacons are done.
Absolutely.
Children might have to come into school late. There's still people moving around. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes children come out, whether it be on field trips and they're moving around schools. We should be monitoring those speed zones. We should not be speeding through the areas where the schools are.
And the difference in speed between where you get the citation is not a permission to go above the posted speed limit. If you have an officer that's there, they can still write you a ticket.
Yeah, so and I appreciate that. That's a great point, too. And I'll be honest with you, the data metrics that we're going to be able to share with the public, and again, not to shame anybody, but I don't even mind if we're allowed to. I'd like to share some of the videos of people speeding through some of these school zones so people can see what we're looking at. Just because you are getting caught and it's a digital fine per se, where it's $100, it's sent to you. If we see a repeat offender over and over again, I have no problem sending our traffic unit back into that area and see if they can find them, and then we can easily void out the citation in the computer and we can actually issue a real citation. So if we're seeing repeat offenders over and over again based on the data, I'll clearly send our people back in there again, and we will do our best to try to locate those people and maybe have a bigger conversation with them.
And so we're hitting a different audience, I think, with the podcast material. So you may not have necessarily seen the video work that we've done, the social media posts, but we want people to know that there's information that's out there. We do have a dedicated website on the police department's webpage that explains this program, the locations where it's at. We do have 11 camera sites at multiple schools. Yeah. So the information is certainly out there, and we want to make sure that, our school kids are getting to school safely, that our staff is safe when they're, in and around the school zone area, and that our officers, our crossing guards are protected and safe when they're doing this. So, Chief, do you have any final thoughts to share? No,
it's it's an honor and a blessing to serve the community, and a lot of that. Some of the complaints that I normally receive is the speed. No matter where we are in the city, it's so very important. We're a busy city right now. We're a growing city. So very important that we actually use due care when we're driving, when we're operating vehicles, not only in school zones, even though we're here to talk about that today, but on our lake shore, on our lakefront, everywhere you go. I get a lot of complaints about the way people drive. Our traffic units are still out there. And just so you know, this program in no way will negate having law enforcement officers in those school zones too. So once again, I just want to reiterate that we're going to be out there. It's very, very important. We use due care when we're driving around the schools. Obviously, we're open to any questions. I'm out in the public all the time. I love talking about these things. I love talking about keeping everything safe. So always available for questions.
And just as a reminder, this system will begin issuing citations beginning May 7th. That's correct?
That is correct. May 7th is the go live date, and that would have been 30 days of basically receiving warnings in the school zones. And again, even as of yesterday, I see vehicles that are driving 20 miles an hour still over the posted speed limit. So even though this system is running and the cameras are visible, people are still speeding through this, and it's concerning. And I hope this actually corrects it. And I'll say again, this system, we did not spend a dime on it. This is not a money-making event for us. We're not trying to make money. And I'll be honest with you, since we didn't pay for the equipment and the setup, I pray we don't make any money on this. And that just means everyone is actually driving the speed limit and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So if we make no money on this, I'd be happy with that too.
Yep. Yeah, and I think as you've said, the overall goal is to, maintain respect and show that we're being safe towards each other. And I think that's a great value.
Down there, like on 192 at Michigan, somewhere between Michigan and Ohio, on that stretch of highway there, that is a school zone. There are flashing lights so is there a camera out on that location, or would it be more going down Michigan Ave, closer to the schools?
It should be in the areas of the schools. So I think it's down Michigan. I don't think we don't have any cameras on 192.
Okay.
Yeah, It's not there.
All right. Good to know.
That doesn't mean, though, when it's flashing, you should still slow down.
No, absolutely not. The people should pay attention to that.
And I will tell you, that's one of our areas that I get a lot of complaints on because it's a high-speed road that a lot of people don't necessarily pay attention to. Our crossing guards, And that's why we have multiple crossing guards at that location.
For sure.
Chief, do you have any final thoughts to add before we close out?
And something we missed, and I apologize. This is a system, and by state statute, if you do receive one of these violations, you receive a fine. There's no points on your license at this point. That does not just give you carte blanche to continue to do this. So I hope and pray that if you do receive one of these, I truly am sorry, but obviously there's a reason you're receiving something. Please don't speed in our school zones, and let it be a learning lesson for us. It's very, very important that we learn from these things and we use due care around our children.
Procedurally, though, if you fail to pay one of these, it changes, doesn't it? And then that does come with points towards
that is correct. Yes. So our officers for the system and how it works. Each morning, our traffic motor officers will go out and they'll do their job. And there are certain areas wherever they're going to be patrolling. When they're done, they come in and actually review all the violations, whether it be from the prior day or from the day of. And they actually have to visually look at each one of these violations, ensure that the license plate is correct, view the violation, ensure that it's a proper speeding violation, and then they approve it. So it would be sent out as one of the electronic notices that would generate the $100 fine. If you choose not to pay that, it actually does generate up to a uniform traffic citation. So that's something that's you really need to take into account for that if you do receive this. And then I'll be honest with you, if you have outstanding balances, it's going to be very difficult for you to renew your registrations and things like that. So I think that's something to consider also.
Now, for those people that are concerned about this system and want to avoid having to pay these citations, what's the one way that they can avoid them?
Follow the speed limit. I think that's probably the most important thing, and especially in our school zones. And I'll be honest with you, if we can at least get the school zones covered and secured and driving safely, we do the best to handle the rest. Our traffic unit does a great job, but for all of us, I mean, it's tragic. God forbid we hit a child. God forbid we have a collision in and around a school area. That's the reason these cameras are in place. It's for the safety and security of not only for our children, our faculty, our staff, but also the motoring public too, the motorists that are there. So it's very, very important. You please pay attention in our school zones.
Very well stated, Chief. Well, on behalf of the City of St. Cloud's Communications Office, I'm Andrew Sullivan. Thank you, Chief Goerke, for being with us today.
It's an honor.
And we appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by, Chief.
Thank you.
That's it for this edition of Cloudcast. Don't forget to like, follow, rate, and review, and we'll see you next time on Cloudcast.